Have you ever found yourself torn between two pieces of advice? Like you're at a crossroads and there's two paths in front of you, and you don't know which one to take. Well, back in Hawaii, there was a guy named Robert who had a very similar situation, except he had two dads. He had his real dad, who he called Poor Dad, and he had his best friend's dad, who he called Rich Dad. Now, these two dads loved Robert very much, and they both wanted the best for him. They both had their own unique experiences, their own wisdom, their own perspectives on life, and so they both gave Robert some very different advice. When Robert was just a young boy, he heard his poor dad say this: "The love of money is the root of all evil." But then he also heard his rich dad say, "The lack of money is the root of all evil." So the question is, as a young boy, who does Robert listen to? Unfortunately, we don't know, because this is a story that we've got to earn. As we keep watching, we find out more details. We see how these two dads lived, what they did, what their mindsets were, and in the end, we get to decide which mindset will win. So let's imagine we're 9 years old and we hear our dads having a conversation. Poor Dad says, "Go to school, study hard, get good grades, graduate, find a nice stable job with good benefits, work hard, get promoted, save some money, invest it wisely, and then you can retire comfortably." Rich Dad says, "Don't work for money. Make money work for you." Then Rich Dad continues, "If you want to be rich, you must learn to make money work for you instead of working for money. If you only work for money, you will never be rich. You may work hard all your life and still be poor." Whoa. For a 9-year-old kid, this is some pretty intense stuff. What do you think Robert felt? Confused, probably. Curious, most definitely. And possibly even a little bit scared. After hearing this conversation, Robert goes home and thinks about what his dad said. He thinks about the kind of life he wants to live. And here's where we need to pay close attention, because what Robert decides to do from this point forward will affect the rest of his life. And it all comes down to one decision, one choice. And it's the same choice that each and every one of us has to make every single day. Do we want to play defense or do we want to play offense? So imagine this. You're playing a game. You're either playing football or soccer, and your team is losing. So you're down by 3 points and there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. Now you could try to tackle the person with the ball and prevent them from advancing any further. That's playing defense. Or you could try to steal the ball and run all the way down the field and score a touchdown. Now that's playing offense. It's riskier, but the reward is worth it. Now in this particular case, Robert's poor dad was teaching him to play defense. He was saying, "Hey, don't take risks, don't take chances, just play it safe, get a safe job, get promoted, save some money, invest it wisely, and then retire comfortably." But Robert's rich dad was teaching him to play offense. He was saying, "Hey, don't play it safe, take some risks, take some chances, don't work for money, make money work for you." Which mindset will Robert choose? Will he choose the safe route, or will he take his chances and try to score that winning touchdown? Well, as Robert gets older, we see that he starts to realize something. He realizes that his poor dad was actually a very smart man. He had a degree in accounting. He worked hard his entire life, and despite all of his hard work, he still struggled financially. On the other hand, Robert noticed that his rich dad never really worked in the traditional sense, but he was always making money. And so eventually, Robert realizes that it's not about the amount of money that you make, it's about how much of that money you can keep. And it's also about how much of that money you can make work for you. So let me ask you this. Which father are you listening to? Are you listening to the dad who's telling you to play it safe, to get a stable job, to save your money, to invest it wisely, and then you can retire comfortably? Or are you listening to the dad who's telling you to take some risks, to take some chances, to make money work for you instead of working for money? Because in the end, your financial destiny doesn't start with your paycheck. Your financial destiny starts with your mindset. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel and join our awesome community. Also, check out our free newsletter. You can sign up on our website.